What's up, gang? It's Willie Rebuild, baby, and we back with another one. That's right. We back on old Project Last Chance, and we about to get some things done today, gang. I lost a little footage. I broke my phone. I had a lot of footage, a good bit of footage of me doing the floors in it. I lost some of it. Well, actually, I lost a good bit of it, but I'm gonna throw in a clip of what I got left. We can't cry over spoiled milk, so what we gonna do is we just gonna move forward on where we at today, gang. And where we at today is we getting ready to make some progress on the old Project Last Chance. So, without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and throw that clip in. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe to the channel and sit back and watch as old Mr. Miyagi turn Project Last Chance into something, gang. So I'm gonna cut y'all off and turn y'all back on in a minute. All right, gang, so now that all the holes done been welded in, except two, I think I missed two. I missed one up in there in this middle section here, and I'll grind that back. And I missed one over here, right in my face, that I forgot to weld, but it ain't no big deal. I'll wait till this dry, grind that one spot and fill it in with weld. It wasn't rust holes that I missed, it's holes that somebody drilled in the car. For what reason, I don't know, gang. But now that everything been treated, I done wiped the areas, the affected areas, with 2 coats of PO 15. I'm gonna let this dry. I'm gonna come back, hit the 2 holes that I missed. I'm gonna hit those 2 spots, just those spots, with 2 coats of PO 15, and then I'm gonna top coat. I'm gonna top coat this whole floor black with black paint. Nothing fancy. For that, I probably just use some Rust-Oleum paint just to make it look uniform, one color, and just something to help keep the metal protected. Because as you can see in areas like that, where I was treating it with the rust mart, once I came back and cleaned it with the soap and water, it pulled the paint off. So that's what I usually do when I do stuff like this. I just come back, top coat the whole floor, black or whatever color the customer tell me they want. He said he gonna paint the car black, so I'll just do the floor in black. So that's where I'm at right now, gang. Today is Sunday. I'm getting ready to shut it down. As you can see, it's getting ready to get dark. I'm gonna stop at Walmart on the way home. And I'm gonna stop at Walmart and get probably buy 2 cans of paint to top coat that floor. Tomorrow, I'm finna take Big Bertha over here, the 73 Impala, to the shop. And not to the shop, to the dyno. Finna take it to the dyno and tune it. I might make a video on that, going to the exhaust shop. Yeah, going to the exhaust shop too. I'm gonna do it all in one day. I lied to the customer, told him it had exhaust, but by the time he see this video, the car probably will be sitting in his driveway, so he won't really be worried about that then, gang. So let me go ahead and pick up my stuff, my tools, and hopefully I'll be getting back to y'all soon. I'm probably gonna throw this in another video, but hopefully we'll be getting back soon on the Monte Carlo. I gotta drop the dash off Tuesday to the interior shop so they can wrap it, and the console as well, gang. So I'm gonna cut y'all off and cut y'all back on once we come back on the Monte Carlo, probably in a day or two. For me, it'll be a few seconds for y'all, gang. I'll cut y'all back on in a minute. All right, gang, now that y'all done checked out the situation with the flow, let's get down to the business, baby. So I'm gonna turn this camera around and I'm getting ready to walk y'all through what I got going on with Project Last Chance, gang. So, like I was telling y'all in the video with the mounts, we upgrading the mounts to a polyurethane mount. I got an old factory mount on the floor, and as you can see, this mount here is a much sturdier mount. The polyurethane mount is a much sturdier mount than the factory mount, as you can see. So we upgrading the mounts. We putting bolts back in the mounts because the mounts didn't have any engine mount bolts in it. So this the bolts we gonna use for that. I took the AC box out. This the AC box that come out of the car. Is missing the actuator on the side. It looked like it was broke off, so I'm not about to fight with it. It had a piece of plastic. I don't know if it come from in the box or if it was just something that fell in the box, but we're not gonna use that box. We're gonna do away with that. I got another AC box that got all the proper actuators and everything on it so the box can work properly. That's right, got all the wiring on it. As you can see, got the wire harness on it. This box is not mounted in yet. I'm getting ready to put the butyl tape on it and seal it up so we can put it in for good. But what I want to show y'all is, since we running this E38 computer, that computer is a lot smaller. If you look down in there go your computer head down there in the kick panel. And as you can see, I got the kick panel installed, and it's look like it's gonna be a pretty nice situation, gang. Now another thing I did is, because I don't have a dash in the car, I got free range. I got free range at how I can mount things up, gang. So as you can see right here, I got the fuse block mounted behind the glove box. Look at that, how pretty that is, baby. That's right. See, I could do it like that too. How y'all see them mounting it up nice and pretty when they got the whole car towed down, no dash, no carpet, no interior. It's easy to do all that, but when you doing a swap and you know the dash and everything in the car, the customer, they not gonna want to pay to remove the dash from the car and you know the dash in good condition. So you gotta work around that. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm getting ready to pull this AC box back out, and I'm gonna pop a hole right here under the bottom, like behind the AC box. These wires gonna be tucked up nice and high and pretty and going out into the engine bay. As you can see, that's the rest of the wiring right there. So we gonna have all that wired up. As y'all can see, the dash is gone, the console is gone. It's already at the interior shop. So what I'm getting ready to do now is install these mounts. We gonna paint the box up. Gonna paint the box up, take some of that stuff off the box that we don't need. We gonna clean the box up, paint it. We gonna put this junk in here, gang, cause got work going on, baby. We gonna take the butyl tape and wrap around the box to seal it up. I'm gonna call the customer and ask him if he wanna go ahead and change his heater coat and his evaporator while I got the box out. If he don't want to do it, I can't make him do it. But if I put this shit together and it got a leak, I'm gonna charge him to take the shit back loose and fix it. So it's on him. If he wanna roll, however he wanna roll the dice game, I'm down with it. But enough talking, y'all see, we got a lot of work to do. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull that box back out. I was just checking the how I could mount the fuse block to the back of the AC. So what we gonna do is we gonna pull that box back out, get the holes drilled where we gonna mount, cause I got a fuse block bracket to mount that back there where it's not just hanging. And you should be able to access all the fuses through the glove box if you have a problem with it, gang. That's right. Like I told y'all, this a Gen 4 Hornets, a Gen 4 engine and trans. This a LS3 with a 6-speed trans. This the first setup like this I did on the channel. The wiring part of it, I'm not gonna put the wiring part in the video. And the reason why is because it's time for Mr. Miyagi to get paid for some of this information. That's right. So what I did is I set up the membership, gang. That's right, set up the membership. If you wanna see the wiring and some of the stuff that a lot of people ask me about in the comments, like the wiring, how you set up this, how you do that. This what the membership gonna be for, gang. Y'all come on over and support Willie Rebuild, aka Mr. Miyagi, by joining and becoming a member. And you'll get to see the behind the scenes of some of that, the wiring, and some of the stuff that I've been giving away for free. Now you can come and learn how to do it and be a member, because I ain't putting it on the channel no more. I'ma still give y'all the videos like y'all getting, but now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set up that for members only. And the LT information is gonna be in the membership too. So the ones of y'all that wanna know how to do the LT, that's why I got that sitting here. Cause that's what I'm finna drop in there. A LT, I'm gonna have all the wiring, what mounts to use, how to set it up, and the most important thing of it all, you're gonna get to see the shit run and drive and work. It hit different when somebody just talking, but they ain't got no proof to back up what they talking about. I'm gonna give you the proof to back it up, but you gotta pay for it, baby. So that's how we gonna do with the wiring shit, set up on this shit. And yeah, gang, it's time to pay over Miyagi, man. I've been giving y'all free game for about 3 years. Now it's time for me to get compensated. I know how it go. Some people ain't gonna want to compensate over Willie Rebuild. Some people gonna want to support the channel. All right, gang. So we starting to get some progress going here, gang. I done went ahead and drilled out my hole for my wire harness, as you can see, right there high in the top of the tunnel. It should be out the way and shouldn't interfere with the transmission or nothing like that. Right there in that spot, I should still be able to get the box and everything in the way it need to go. Let me bring y'all inside the car. As y'all can see, I got the spots right there I just filled in. Also, I don't know if y'all noticed, but it had a big hole right there where it looked like they tried to run this wire through for the stereo system. But I closed that in with weld and put some pull 15 on it and drilled my hole. And now y'all see we starting to take shape with the plan. Gotta let that pull 15 dry before I can move that back. Move the computer and everything. Y'all see how I modified that case there. And I may open this up a little bit I may not, cause it's in there. It's the computer is fitting in there nice, not in that hole, but in the spot where it's gonna be at. But I can make it fit a lot flusher if I open that hole up a little bit. So I don't know if I'm gonna do that or not. But what I am about to do is we getting ready to put the AC box back in. I went ahead and put some flat black paint, flat black paint on it, as y'all can see. And also I went ahead and painted this piece here silver. That's the bracket that hold the dryer right there. But let me go ahead and put the butyl tape on this box, and I'm gonna go ahead and mount this box back in, gang. Yes, sir. Y'all see, we getting progress. The plan's starting to fall into play, baby. That's right. All right, gang. We done got the mounts in. We got the motor up. We getting ready to go in from the side. Let me get y'all to look inside the engine bay. Got both mounts in. Red polyurethane mount. I'm about to go ahead and try to get it back in. I kinda wanna pick it up from this hole here to level the transmission out, but then I might hit the fender because I need enough slack still going down to get the motor sitting. So I'm gonna sit y'all up on the tripod right here, and we about to try to get the old motor back in the car, baby. That's right. Let's get it up and see what happens. One man show, baby. 5 people couldn't hold it. One man show. Oh, what do we do, baby? That should be high enough right there. Now I gotta fight with my hoist because one of the wheels fucked up. This old hoist got a lot of miles on it. Tip. Get it spin around. We should get him spin around, gang. There we go. Get him spin around. Get it back from the Carson. High enough right there, gang. That should be high enough right there, baby. Go ahead and start lowering it down a little bit. Let y'all see how we looking. Y'all see it, gang. Y'all see it. I ain't got nothing I can sit y'all up on to so y'all can see everything. But yeah, that's about the highest I'm gonna get. I ain't got nothing in here to prop y'all up on. Sit y'all back a little bit out the way. Don't want y'all to get hurt. Don't want y'all to get hurt, man. Don't bump my pretty firewall, Monte. Don't do that. Oh, need to get it in some. To the firewall. It's about time for me to put my hoist in retirement. All right, man. Now what I gotta do is, because I still got the cross member in the car, I need to go ahead and get my jack up under here so I can get the nose of the transmission up. And I got my hoist right in the wheel there. My hoist right in the wheel there. Let's see what happens. I can get the jack on the transmission. Show y'all what I got. I'm halfway in. I don't want to bull y'all out with this. And I got a call coming in. But as soon as I get everything settled in, I'm going to cut y'all back on, gang. Yes, sir. All right, gang, we back. So I got the engine sitting down in the car, as you can see. But we ran into a situation because these clamshells right here are the wrong ones. And as you can see, like I told a customer before, he didn't have the engine mount bolts in the clamshell. And the reason why is because, as you can see, the clamshells, they don't line up because that's the wrong mounts. The wrong clamshells on the engine, I should say. So I talked to my guy. He got a set. I'm gonna go and get them from him. I gotta go pick some more parts up from him. The headlight harness I got from him was the wrong one. So I'm gonna go back by him, pick up the correct headlight harness to fit this car. Like I showed y'all earlier, got the engine harness in, got the engine sitting in. I'm gonna leave it in. I could change those clamshells with the engine in the car. I could just pick it up because right now I got it just sitting in the car the same way he had it sitting in the car. Went by Randy and picked up this passenger door, as you can see. Got that installed on the car. I'm getting ready to convert getting ready to convert the car over to power windows and locks. As you can see, this is a power door. The other power door is by my guy, where I'm going to get the headlight harness from and the clamshells. Also, I went ahead and patched the holes up like I showed y'all. The couple of holes that I had left over, I went ahead and patched those up. Patched this hole up in the front where they had this speaker wire coming through. Got the AC box just temporarily. Well, not temporarily, but I got like 2 bolts holding it in, but it's not coming back out. What else we got, gang? That's about it right there. One guy hit me up on Facebook. I don't know if he watched the videos, but he was asking about how I did the harness. He wanted to see the video. He'll go to video right here. But if you're gonna run that harness like that, you might have to take the AC box out to do that, because that harness is way under the AC box into the tunnel, and just drilling from the bottom, you might run a risk of drilling a hole through the AC box. So I wouldn't recommend trying to run that harness the way you seen me do it. Let me bring you from this side here so you can get a better view. But as you can see, that go the harness where it come through. It's gonna lay down right on top of the motor. It's gonna be a beautiful situation. This one here, you probably won't see too many wires at all, if any, because the way how I did it. And the fuse block, like I told y'all, the fuse block gonna be mounted in behind the glove box. Need to adjust this handle a little bit. That handle will get replaced anyway, so the body man will take care of that. But yeah, my fuse block gonna be mounted right here, behind the glove box, out the way. To access the fuses, you'll have to drop the glove box down. You don't have to remove it, but you should be able to see all the fuses once you let the glove box all the way down, gang. But that's where we at. One guy told me I was hating on the guy. Like Turk say, man, telling the truth ain't hating. The proof is in the pudding. I ain't got too much to say about none of that shit, because at the end of the day, I'm gonna do all this shit my way, and I'm gonna make it right and get it on the road. It's just a few things that we gonna have to go back and, you know, redo and do it the right way. And that's just what it is. But other than that, that's where we at. Like I say, I'm getting ready to remove the driver door. In the next video, this door will probably be replaced. But I done went as far as I can go right now. I gotta go to my guy, pick up those parts. The customer got a bunch of parts for me, the new gas tank and stuff like that. A bunch of different parts, fuel line, all that he gotta drop off over here today. But I'm just trying to get everything inside of the car the way it need to be. That way, once my dash get back from getting wrapped, you know, I have everything installed, AC vents, all that, and just ready to put the dash and the harness back in. I'm gonna have to pick up the harness also from my guy for the power windows and locks. That way, I'm ahead of the game, and I got everything the way it need to be. So once those parts come in, I'm ready to install the dash, gang, and put some fire in the hole. Y'all see it? I'm constantly upping my game constantly giving other people new ideas, because I know some of them gonna steal what they see me doing. But like I say, I'm getting ready to put a lot of this stuff in the members, for members, a lot of these videos. So at that point, you know, you pay old Miyagi, and Miyagi opened up his whole playbook. Like I told y'all a long time ago, I only really show y'all about 40% of what I actually do on a day-to-day basis, if that much, maybe 30, 25, 30%. I don't give up all my tricks. I got a bag full of tricks. I got over 25 years worth of tricks. This playbook will never run out of plays, baby. That's right. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Old Willie Rebuild gang, over and out.